Well, hi there. My name is Ed Comeau. I'm with the Vision 2020 project, and I've been doing some work on the community risk reduction things and using iPads and technology. And so I wanted to use this opportunity to talk to you about that. Unfortunately, I'm sorry, I had a last minute thing come up there. I'm just traveling today, and I'm not going to be able to make the presentation as I had hoped. We were going to do it virtually here from my office, but unfortunately, I can't make it. There's just no way out of it. So I'm trying this as an alternative, and actually what I am doing is filming this on my iPhone, and I'm going to be editing it on my iPad and uploading it so that you can watch it. I'm going to try doing it through YouTube and see how that works out. So we're going to be covering a few things here today. Jerry's going to be covering some other things. I'm just really, again, sorry I can't be there. I know this isn't quite as good. Well, some of you might think it's better. But let's see how it all works out, okay? Okay, so now we're going to talk about some of the cases that we can use on the iPads. Now, the iPad, let's be very honest with you, it is a potentially fragile piece of equipment. And what some AHJs are finding is that even though it is fragile, for the price of perhaps one of those hardened notebooks that you see in rigs all the time, you can actually buy about 2, 3, or 4 iPads. So even though it is a somewhat fragile piece of equipment compared to a hardened laptop, it may just be worth the investment that if you lose a few of them in the course of the year, it's still a cheaper investment. But there are things that you can do with an iPad to try to protect it and make it more functional. Now, I love iPad. Use it all the time. I think it's a great piece of equipment, but it's certainly not a laptop replacement. It does have its limitations, and so there are a few things that I've done with it, with mine, and with ones we've done in the field that might help out a little bit. One of the first cases we're going to look at is what's called an OtterBox. It's a hard plastic case that has a cover on it. It comes in, you put it in something like this, which slides apart. I don't know if I can quickly get it apart. I don't think I can. But the iPad's contained in here, and then you have an outer cover that goes over it. And this also can serve as a stand. So now you have something that'll prop it up to use. The downside of the OtterBox, it's really a hardened device, but as you can see, it's an open front. So once your iPad is inside here, it's still exposed. The front of it is still exposed. So it's certainly not waterproof or even water resistant because the iPad is still exposed. It does have some rubber grommet type things on some of the openings or the switches, but still it does have a limitation along that line. And the other limitation is once you put the iPad in this device, or in this case rather, it's heavy. It does make it heavy. I don't know how much it weighs, but I have found it, and that's what I've heard from other people as well. Good protection, heavy, open front. Okay, so that's the OtterBox. Another device that I've tried, or case that I've tried that I kind of really like is a Griffin. Sorry about the reflection or the glare, but that also tells you that there is a plastic shield on it. So this is certainly more water resistant. It's not waterproof, but it's certainly more water resistant than the OtterBox is because it does have that thing. So it's kind of like splash proof is what it is. You take it apart. It's got a rubber. Hang on, let's see if I can do part of it real quickly here just to demo it. Give me just a second. Okay, as you can see, it's got the outer rubber case that comes off. You have the plastic inside. You open that up, put your iPad in it, reassemble it, put your rubber case back on the outside. So now you have rubber textured back, which also is another part that I like. One thing I don't like about the iPad is the smooth back on it. It does make it a little difficult to hold for a long period of time. It makes it a little bit slippery on it. So this is a nice way around it, is the Griffin case. And it's a lot lighter, too, than the OtterBox. Okay. This is a pretty slick one. I like it. It's called an air strap. Okay. So what you do is you put your iPad in here, and it doesn't offer it any real protection. This is more for carrying it around. And actually, if you go to the Apple store, you'll see that this is what they're using to carry it around, is this thing here. It's a nice way to carry it around if you're doing a lot of data entry. You put your iPad in there, do that sort of thing. And all these things, too, have the openings that will allow you to use the camera or the speakers, give you access to all the features of it. So this is pretty nice for walking around, entering information in if you're doing surveys, or if you're showing videos to people, things like that. This is pretty neat. So this is called the Griffin Airstrap. Okay, let's get to the one that I use a lot, and it's called the PADAX Portfolio. Okay, now that's what it looks in its stretched out position. As you can see, I do have the iPad in it. What I like about it, it has an external keyboard, okay, and you can put your iPad on it and it props it up and holds it, which makes it a lot more functional, okay, than the original plan. Now, the great thing about it, it's a smaller keyboard, and you're certainly not going to write the great American novel on it, but you can write a short story. And, for use in the field, this may not be the best solution, but I'm doing a lot of travel, so it's great on an airplane. It's great when I'm just sitting in a chair and I need something on my lap to do some writing and things like that. To me, this has really increased the use of my iPad tremendously. And you can also just fold it up, boom, like that. Slips into a briefcase so you can carry it around. And that's another part about these iPads. I carry this around now like I used to carry around a pad of paper, okay? I am just constantly finding times when I need to use it or can use it, just look up some quick information so I can pull it out, boom, there it goes. So depending what you want to use it for, this is a great solution to making it a little bit more towards a laptop sort of situation. So those are the cases that I find, and I know there's a lot more out there. I know there's a lot more that people are using, and certainly like to hear that's their sort of experience with it. Oh, one other thing too I wanted to mention is I put a screen protector on all the iPads I've used. And the big reason I do that is because of the smearing, the fingerprints and everything like that. To me, the iPad without a screen protector on it, it just is like a fingerprint magnet. It just gets so messed up and everything else. So I use what's called a ZAG screen protector. And I'm not promoting any particular product. It's just the ones that I've used that I like. A ZAG screen protector, it's a little tricky to put on. If you buy it at some of these big electronic stores, for a little bit more, they'll charge you to put it on for you, get all the bubbles out and all that sort of stuff. But once you get it on there, it really helps a lot in terms of reducing all the fingerprints and all the smearing. One thing I would recommend against is they do offer a glare-free version. I mean, you can see the glare on this, obviously. What I found was the glare-free version actually kind of clouded the screen, so it made it a little bit harder to read. Yeah, it took away the glare, but also it looked like there's just a little bit of a cloudy film on your iPad now, which certainly takes away from the visual brilliance of the iPad. But also, I found it actually, over time, I found it tiring, because I guess my eyes are constantly trying to burn their way through it, so to speak. So I have stayed away since then from the glare-free version and just gone to the regular version of using a ZAG screen protector on it. So